Welcome back to Coffeehouse Convos, my weekly show where I talk about automotive news, events, and my opinions. Today we're going to talk about Jeep, and specifically the Wagoneer S and the new Jeep Recon. Let's get started. So you might have seen Jeep just announced officially the new Jeep Wagoneer S and the new Jeep Recon. They've released photos of the new Wagoneer S, release dates, all the good stuff about the Wagoneer, but they haven't released any official photos of the Recon. We have renders of what we think it'll look like, and even on the Jeep website, if you go to their Jeep brand electrified page, at the top it says the Jeep Recon and Wagoneer S, but they don't have any photos of the Recon. They have photos of the Wagoneer S. So that tells me that it's going to be officially released, as far as photos are going to be officially released very soon, or as I'll talk about later at the Easter Jeep Safari event later this month. So like a lot of manufacturers recently, Jeep's goal is to have a full EV lineup within the next year or two, and that'll include the Wagoneer S and the Recon obviously, and they'll probably just electrify some other vehicles, maybe even the Wrangler. We'll see. So the Wagoneer S, Jeep has already said to expect it to be available in 2024. So probably by the end of this year, we might start seeing some on the road. As for the Recon, probably won't be available till 2025, but I'll talk about the Recon a little bit later. The Wagoneer S is expected to start at $80,000. That's why they called it the Wagoneer. I'll talk more about that later as well. So the Recon is what I'm more excited about. I think it's what most people are more excited about. It seems like a really cool, exciting vehicle that Jeep is the first to do something like this. Now there is the Hummer EV and the Rivian, which are both off-road oriented vehicles that are EVs, but the Recon is going to be a little bit different because it will have removable doors. Like a regular Wrangler, you'll be able to take off the doors. That's something that's really cool, I think, and it'll be the first EV where you can take the doors off. So if you've seen the renders of the Recon, you can see it's a rugged, capable, off-road oriented vehicle. It has removable doors. It has the spare tire mounted on the back. So I'm expecting it to look a lot like the renders that we've seen before, and I'll put a picture up here. But it's gonna be a boxy design, 4-door, short wheelbase, spare tire on the back, like I said before, and it looks a little bit to me like the Renegade. And if it is based on the Renegade platform, as far as like the Renegade frame and stuff, then there's chances that the Recon will be built in Italy, and I think that would be a silly move for Jeep to do. The Renegade makes sense because it does look like a Fiat, but I think the Recon should be built in the US. Now, probably more likely, since it's an EV, the Recon will have a unique frame, a unique platform because of the EV drivetrain. The batteries are in a very different location than the engine. If Jeep sticks to its roots, the Recon will be built in the US. That's what people are probably expecting. That's what I want. But don't get too excited yet because it's expected to start at $60,000. So my opinions about these two vehicles. Well, the Wagoneer S looks more like a Grand Cherokee than a Wagoneer. I think they are calling it the Wagoneer because of the price range. Starting at $80,000, that's in the price range of the Grand Wagoneer, which is the huge Jeep that they released. So since the Wagoneer S is going to be so expensive, they're going to have to stick it into their luxury vehicle lineup like the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer. Now the Recon, I think, could be very, very cool. If Jeep does it correctly, I think this could be a huge hit for Jeep. And I think it will be really popular with most of the people who buy Wranglers, basically, who just drive it around the city, drive it around town. I think it'll be really popular with this crowd. It'll probably never see dirt road, probably never go off-roading. For starting at $60,000 for this vehicle, That I think is ridiculous, especially because it looks like the Renegade, which is an entry level starting at in the 20s. I think the Recon could be done and should be starting at 30, probably 35, maybe upper $30,000 range. I could see if they release a Recon Rubicon, I could see that being upwards of $60,000 and maybe some of the other special editions, but $60K starting seems a little ridiculous. Now maybe they're just doing, like, the Recon is only a Rubicon, like it's only a top of the line type vehicle. I think that'd be not a very smart move for Jeep. I think having a more affordable entry level electric vehicle in the Jeep lineup that's similar to a Wrangler in terms of you can take the doors off and it's off-road capable, you'll probably have people deciding between a Wrangler and a Recon. But if it starts in at $60,000 and somebody just wants an off-road capable, boxy, short wheelbase vehicle, they're going to choose a Wrangler. They won't even care that it's an EV. And as I've said in the past 2 Coffeehouse Convos episodes, the whole push for EVs is, I think, a mistake for manufacturers. I think they shouldn't be putting this huge amount of investment into the EV technology. I think the smarter move would be to put this investment into the hybrid powertrain technology, because honestly, I think EV is sort of like a hype topic right now. I like the concept of having a vehicle that has 0 emissions for the life of the vehicle. That's really good, but you have to think about what goes into building an EV, all the non-renewable natural resources that we have to extract from the ground. It's a lot different than building an internal combustion engine. We've kind of got that whole process down to a science, and we can do it very efficiently. We can build engines that are very efficient. 4-cylinder, 150 horsepower, maybe 200 horsepower, can make 40 miles a gallon. So I think, honestly, I think the hybrid system is what the future is going to hold, and I think it's the smarter move for manufacturers. But it seems like Jeep is expanding on their hybrid lineup, and now they're also trying to expand their EV lineup, but they only have 2 vehicles in that category right now, and they have a lot more, the 4xe, they have a lot more of vehicles in that category, the hybrid category. And I know they're all owned by Stellantis, so Stellantis really probably makes these types of decisions, but I think since most manufacturers are implementing an entire lineup of just EVs, I think Jeep is just trying to jump on this, so they're staying relevant and competitive with these other manufacturers that are moving that direction. I think if they didn't do that, I don't think it would hurt the company. I think if they just stuck with their hybrid systems, time will tell if it's reliable and if their system works, but I don't think they would lose any customers because they don't have EVs. So, moving on to events. This is an exciting one. The last couple I've been talking about the Overland Expo, which is coming soon. I'm really excited about that. But this time I'm going to talk about an event that's happening later this month, and that is Easter Jeep Safari. So we're sticking with the Jeep theme from the news today. But if you don't know what Easter Jeep Safari is, it is an event hosted by Jeep. It runs from Saturday the 23rd until Sunday, March 31st. So it's the whole week, and Jeep brings out concept vehicles, custom vehicles, like one-off Jeeps that are extremely cool. And I have a feeling they're gonna release, or they're gonna unveil the Recon at this event because it's later this month. Now they might just release it in a couple of days or like next week, but it makes sense that they just announced the Wagoneer S. It makes sense that they're gonna bring the Recon to Easter Jeep Safari. So Jeep brings out all these vehicles, custom one-off vehicles, and just does trail rides with them, off-roads, and it's in Moab, Utah. So that would be an awesome event to go to. One of my goals is to go to this event. So a few of my favorite concepts from the past, if you haven't seen these concepts, I recommend either going on YouTube. Brad from Trail Recon does videos at Easter Jeep Safari every year, and he gets to test drive the vehicles. His video from 2023 was a really good one. But a couple of my favorite concepts that I've seen in the past are the classic Cherokee 4xe. I'll put all the pictures on the screen, but you can see it's a classic Cherokee with the 4xe drivetrain in it. I think that's really awesome. The 4-speed concept, which if you can't tell, they took out the back seats, they took out the radio, they dropped as much weight as possible. On the Jeep website, it says that they dropped like 975 pounds. So this thing is super lightweight and probably pretty quick because of how lightweight it is. So you can see it has no doors, no roof, no back seat. It has lightweight wheels and it has a ton of carbon fiber. That's a really awesome one. Another one that I really like is the 41 concept. It's a new Wrangler, 4-door Wrangler that basically just looks like old Willys from 1941. It's got the military color, it's got the military rims, the steely wheels, and I think that's a really cool classic look. It's something that I might want to do with my Jeep, is put some classic steelies on it and maybe paint it like a tan sand color or color match it to the Jeep, that blue pearl color. I think that would be really awesome. Another one, Scrambler 392 concept. This one is from I think last year, but it's a 2-door Jeep Wrangler and it has a truck bed. So if you might know the Scrambler from the past, it's a 2-door Jeep with a truck bed. This one is way shorter. The truck bed is really short, but they put a 392 V8 in this Jeep. That would be so fun to drive, and I love the plaid seats in there. That's a really good touch. An honorable mention is the Magneto concept that they do. They've done a couple of these in the past couple of years, but this is their fully electric Wrangler that they bring out. Eventually they're gonna have an electric Wrangler. I mean, it wouldn't make sense not to. They look just like the Wrangler, but a little bit of custom work and fully electric drivetrain. So a couple other things. I did a 3-day series road trip to Moab, Utah, where we explored Canyonlands National Park, Arches National Park, and just explored the town of Moab. I made 3 videos in a row. Check those out. The first one's already doing extremely well. I'm so happy about that because I really like these videos. But definitely check those out. Make sure you check out my other Coffeehouse Convos videos. One last thing. Today was, or I guess yesterday was a new coffee day. I just got this from Safeway. They had a deal on this brand coffee where it's like $6.99 for a bag. So I got 2 bags. It's the Stumpton Coffee Roasters. I think they're from Portland, Oregon. But this one is Holler Mountain. So far, I really like it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for next week. And I'll see you guys then. Peace.